My coverage of Computex 2023 is brought to you by Antec, Cooler Master, and MSI. To learn more about their products, check out the links in the description.
PNY is showing off this humongous GPU. This is an RTX 4090 that they've partnered up with Cooler Master on to deliver this gargantuan graphics card. This is absolutely insane. It's a 4.5 slot card, and it's got two 120mm fans on it. It's actually a lot quieter than you might think because the fans are so large. They don't have to spin it as high of an RPM, so that keeps the acoustics in check and the cooling. This heatsink is one of the largest I've seen. I actually asked the guys at PNY, is this currently the largest 4090 on the market? And they said no. In fact, the Asus and Noctua collab RTX 4090 is slightly bigger than this one, but this takes a pretty close second, I would imagine. The RGB lighting looks pretty good. You can see ARGB on both the fans as well as parts of the shroud. The shroud, of course, being made of plastic. We've got the 12-volt high power connector right there. And we also have the blacked out fins. I love that they're sort of matte coated. It's a really nice finish that looks a lot nicer than the traditional aluminum, unfinished aluminum in my opinion. Don't worry about these cables coming off of the fans. I know it looks hideous right now, but this is just for demo purposes so they can have the lighting in effect. The finished product, the retail model, will not actually have these. They'll just the fans will be directly plugged into the PCB. Everything should be good there. This is obviously heavily factory overclocked. This is supposed to come out later in the year, September, October timeframe. No word on pricing, but I would imagine that you're gonna need a wallet as big as this card to afford it. If that last GPU was too large for you, here's an RTX 4090 that's in a more conventional form factor. It is still a hefty 3.5 slots, but not nearly as bad as the one we just saw. This is actually their gray version, which they're still in development, but you might notice something very interesting about it. There is a signature on the backplate by the one and only Jensen Huang of NVIDIA. Jensen himself walked through these aisles of Computex and stopped by the PNY booth just to sign this graphics card and say, I'm the best, I'm the man, you should all worship the ground I walk on, and you're welcome. You're welcome for gracing my presence on your GPU.
It's implied.
It's very implied. Yep, so there you can see it looks like a fairly normal sized RTX 4090, Paul for scale. And they went with a gray theme because I asked them, like, what's with the gray? And they actually got inspired by the Porsche Taycan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's the electric vehicle, the electric luxury vehicle that actually comes in a nice space gray option. And they were really inspired by that color. It's interesting always to see how the automotive industry and the PC tech industry sometimes blend together. There's a lot of inspiration that they pull from each other because they're both, cars and GPUs are both beautiful, they're both fast, and these days they're both huge. So thank you, Paul, for showing that off. Stay tuned for this card later this year, perhaps. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching my Computex coverage for 2023. I'll see you all in the next one.